Hello, and welcome to Loving Our Fears with Shikha Rastogi. So many people in this world are trapped in the reaction of anger, and because they react with anger, they become even more angry at themselves for reacting the way they did. And it may feel like they are trapped in this non-ending cycle where anger is the only reaction they know, and they can't seem to break free from it. And if you are one of those, you spend some time figuring out what makes you angry. Are you angry because you are a person of color and are afraid of being judged for your skin color? Are you angry because you are a person who follows a certain religion and are afraid of being judged for your faith? Maybe you are angry because you are poor and you are afraid you'll never have enough. Or are you angry because you are wealthy and you are afraid of losing it all? Are you angry because you have failed and you are now afraid of never succeeding? Or maybe you are angry because you cannot forgive your parents for your pain. Are you angry because you are afraid of not being the perfect parent to your kids? Or maybe you are angry because you don't have kids and are afraid that you won't have someone to call you mom or dad. What is it that you are afraid of that makes you react with anger? Few years ago, when my daughter was around 3 years old, she would get sick and would throw up very often. And I still remember that Sunday evening, as I was getting ready for the next work week, she threw up on an area rug and there was vomit over and around her. As I told her to stay put and started to clean up, she noticed that I was angry. With a puzzled look on her face, she asked me, "Mama, why are you angry?" Her question pierced through my heart like a knife. I didn't know how to answer her. I didn't know how to answer her question because I felt embarrassed that I was angry. And not only did I feel embarrassed that I was angry, but I also didn't have a clue why I was angry. That night, as I sat down to meditate, I couldn't stop thinking about my daughter's question. And as I started to look deeply at what was going on in my mind in those moments of anger, I began to realize that what I was thinking in those moments of anger were things like I may have to call in sick to work the next day, I may have to move all the different meetings and tasks around, I may have to take her to a doctor. And the one thing that struck me about my thinking in those moments was that I felt afraid. I felt afraid because I thought I would be judged at work for taking too many sick days. I felt afraid because I thought I judged if I asked for more time to finish my tasks. I felt afraid that my daughter would need antibiotics again after finishing up a course 10 days ago. I was afraid that the smell of vomit may never go away from the rug. And because I felt afraid is why I reacted the way I did, with anger. If you pay attention, you will notice that anger is so instantaneous, so automatic, that by the time we realize that we are already knee-deep in that reaction. But when you begin to understand that anger is only a symptom of an underlying cause, a dis-ease, and that dis-ease is fear, you also begin to understand that fear uses many ways to manifest itself, and anger is just one of those ways. So each time you get angry, you now know to look for that fear in your reaction, and this gradually releases you from the grip of fear. This release creates a space between you and your anger, so that now you are able to view yourself as separate from your reaction of anger. You're able to just notice your anger, any judgment, like you're watching a movie. And when you're able to create the space and separate yourself from your anger, you are able to view your anger from a perspective of love and compassion. You are able to view your anger as someone hurting badly and needing help. And over time, as you continue to practice creating this space and are able to recognize the fear behind your anger, you continue to also get better at learning to let go of your anger. And when you are able to view your own anger without judgment and compassion, you can also begin to understand why so many people in this world carry anger around with them as a shield to defend themselves, to protect themselves. That's because they are afraid. They are afraid of being judged, being hurt by others. If they build this wall of anger around them, it will keep them safe. But what they don't understand is that this wall, instead of keeping them safe, is keeping them away from possibility of loving relationships, possibility of a caring friendship, possibility of little miracles, tiny successes, infinite possibilities. So learning to let go of anger is one of the best gifts you can give yourself. Being angry has huge repercussions in life. When you make choices and decisions out of anger, and the fear hiding in the shadows of this anger, you not only hurt those who love you, but you also hurt yourself in the process. Are you ready to find the fear behind your anger so that you can start letting go of your anger?